Where's the stash coming from?
November.
It's already?
Yep.
I suppose it's an impressive start, huh?
They had a little head start. Week head start.
So what was it like playing, a full game at defense? How's the transition gone for you?
Transition's been good. I mean, I've been kind of doing it for most of the year. Did a little bit last year in practice, so familiar being back there. But say the biggest thing is just game reps are a little bit different than practice. A little bit more pressure. Guys come a little bit faster at you, so you got to make a play a little bit quicker. But it's been fun. It's something new. It's interesting. It's a bit of a learning curve, but helps working with Simmer. He does make sure he's talking to us in between shifts if we have questions, so it helps out.
So what years growing up did you play D?
Kind of sporadically growing up, mainly when I was younger, squirts, a little bit of Pewee, and then kind of here and there in Bantam, but been pretty much forward from Bantam until freshman year, a couple practices at D, so just kind of bouncing all over the place now.
How do you kind of roll with things here? I mean, you had a season where you were basically out the entire year with an injury, and now you're adjusting to a new position. I mean, it's a lot of changes for you here, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's been a crazy 4 years, but it's been fun, and definitely don't take any day for granted being here and being able to play. And just kind of doing whatever I'm asked, whether it's forward or D, just kind of be ready to go each and every night. Whether different practices, it helps just kind of going back and forth. Some days at forward, some days at D, but now just mainly been D for the most part of this year. So it's been fun and definitely something different, new challenge. So it makes things a little bit more interesting every day.
What areas have you grown as a defenseman in this year? I mean, I'm assuming it's a little bit of a steep learning curve, but certain things you're growing at?
I would say gap control, probably the biggest thing I've been trying to work on. It's challenging, right? Practice is different than games. Guys are a little bit different in game, different moves, seeing different people, different opponents. So I'd say gap control is probably the biggest thing I've been trying to work on. But other than that, I think I might have a little bit of an advantage knowing what forwards do after playing forward for so long on the forecheck. But ultimately just trying to move pucks up to the forward and try not get scored on.
You jumped into a play too in Cornell for the one goal. Just is that kind of some of your forward instincts, or how do you decide when's the right time to go?
Yeah, I think that's just a little instincts from playing forward, kind of finding a soft pocket in the slot, but ultimately just trying to find those times when to jump, when to stay back has also been a learning curve for me. But I think definitely playing forward, I have a little bit more instincts of that. Trying to get into open slot area there and jumping into plays after make a play. Just got to keep your head up and try and jump when you see open ice in front of you.
Thoughts on going to Duluth? Is this where you scored your first goal? Yeah. Thoughts on going back there?
It'll be fun. It's a fun place to play. I've had good success there when I've been here, and they're always a good team to play against. It's always fun, physical. It's going to be a hard weekend, but we're ready to go for the NCHC.
How much have you relied on Brother Brock for defensive information?
Definitely had some texts back and forth after games, just kind of what he sees, what he's seen, and then just any useful tips that he has. Guys coming on forechecks, kind of how to spin off, guys coming at you full speed after you make a pass. Just little things like that. Definitely helpful to have brother who played the position for a long time. Just a little inside information that I maybe didn't know or realize, but he's definitely been helping me out.
He's the only brother that played D, right?
Yep.
Going into this weekend, of course, starting conference play, how much do you think that non-conference schedule, that challenging slate there, has prepared you guys for the NCHC here?
I think it's prepared us perfectly. We played against great opponents every single weekend, and we're going to see that all throughout the NCHC for the most part of the rest of the year. So I think it prepares us perfectly. We saw different playing styles. We saw some more skilled teams like BU and Providence, and then more hard and heavy in Cornell and Mankato. So I think that kind of sums up our league. Some teams are a little bit more skilled, but it's a lot of hard, heavy games and a lot of taxing games on the weekends coming forward. So I think we're pretty well prepared with the opponents we've faced so far.
How do you think the guys have responded to the adversity recently of all the injuries that you guys have gone through in the last week or so?
I think it just goes to show we have deep team. Everyone's willing to get in when they're asked and do whatever they're told. play into their own role, play to their identity, just doing whatever you do best to help the team win.
How much have you embraced being kind of a Swiss Army knife for this team?
It's fun. It's pretty cool, and just talking to different guys, different perspectives. But it's always fun when you come in the locker room. You never know where you're going to be sometimes, so it's cool. Just each and every day, it's fun. You got to show up and just put your best foot forward.
How are you guys preparing mentally and physically heading into another road series after your series against Cornell?
We had 2 practices so far this week, and then today kind of our day. We did workout kind of skills day today. So I think that definitely helps just reset after a long road trip. But at the end of the day, it's another weekend, and we prepare the same way each and every week. Doesn't matter if we're on the road or at home.
What are some areas that you guys are focusing on to ensure you guys have a strong start to the season?
Just making sure we're doing the right things defensively, because everything starts in the D zone. Defense leads the offense. So we've been working at the defensive zone a lot, and I think as we get going here in the NCHC, it's going to show. Just try not giving up grade A opportunities and being ready to jump up on the rush and score on opportunities.
After looking back on your guys' performance this last weekend, what are you most proud of for your team executing this last weekend that you want to carry back over into this week?
Just say that we're never out of the fight. If we're down a goal, we're always in the fight. It can be one shot can turn the momentum of the game around, and we saw that in that second period on Saturday. We were down and then came back and we're right in it. We just got to make sure we're playing the full 60 and playing the right way for 60 minutes.